Hey guys, I figured I would come down on this beautiful sunny day and show you guys my coop for those of you that are interested. Some of the fun things we did, some of the things that I love about it. We still need to do some painting and other fun stuff, but it got too cold, so we're gonna have to wait and do that later. All my girls always come and greet me. Hey girls. They think I brought them something good. My mom brought me this trampoline frame. We're gonna use that and maybe make like a chicken tractor so that I can let them free range around the yard without letting them truly free range, because these are not my chickens. I am chicken sitting for a friend until maybe spring. They recently moved to Oklahoma and they don't have a chicken coop. They're still finishing their home. And so, anyhow, we have neighbors on both sides of us that have dogs that kill chickens. So I can't let them truly free range without fear of them hopping the fence. So I'm trying to allow them some free range that's in a safe environment. So anyhow, this is our coop and chicken yard. And so we tried to do some ventilation, really good ventilation, especially in summer because it's so hot. So this is one of our, one of our windows up here. We can prop it open for some good ventilation at nighttime and during the daytime. And then of course we put this mesh all around it. We even did a skirt here so that it keeps predators from digging. I mean, we live in the city, but you would think city living you don't have that many predators, but we actually do. Like I said, we have the neighbors' dogs, we have foxes in our neighborhood, we have snakes, we have raccoons, we have cats. In fact, the neighborhood cat, which I love, is always walking down the back of the fence line, and she's like peering over the fence at them. So anyhow, so we did lots of securing because we want to keep our chickens, and then we did the skirt or apron, whatever you want to call it, all the way around to keep critters from digging. So here is inside the coop. Let me see if I can turn you around this way without. So this is what our coop looks like. Hi girls, how's it going? So some of the fun things that we did, I realized in all this planning and processing, and even with my garden this last year, that I am a pretty lazy gardener, and I wanted to be a pretty lazy chicken owner too. I don't think it would be fun for me if I had to constantly be down here doing something. And so a lot of the things that we did was we automated a lot. Anything that we could automate, we could. So I made this water. Now I actually have like a watering system that I rigged up when we first got them, and I realized pretty quickly with the first couple of freezes that probably wasn't going to be great for winter. So for now, I just rigged up this bucket, and then I'll show you the watering system in a little bit, and we will get that going back in the summer because it was wonderful, but it just, when the water's freezing, it wasn't the greatest option. So this bucket, we basically got these little, I'm gonna see if I can do this without, we got these little cups on Amazon, and we just drilled a hole in the side of the bucket and put the cups there, and then they can actually use these when they peck down in the water. Hopefully you can see that. It brings water. So they have lots of water, and I come down in the morning and put warm water in there if it was frozen overnight, and so they get all the water they want in that. And then same concept here with this is our feeder, and it came with a big drill bit that we just drilled this hole and put this in. We got these on Amazon too, and they can just reach their head right in, get as much food as they want. And then I basically just, sorry, my hand's in the way. I basically just keep it full here. So they have access to food all the time. They have access to water all the time, and that makes it really nice. And then I come down and throw scratch out in the mornings. I keep that up on the patio. It's corn and oats and black sunflower seeds and some other things. So anyhow, they get to scratch around in their chicken yard and they love it. They're all kind of dust bathing right now in the dirt under the coop. So anyhow, this is another really cool feature that I loved that I had Richard build me. It's a door inside of a door. So this first door here is like a window, and I can open this for ventilation. Again, in the summer, I wanted lots of ventilation options. And so I loved having this. And then there's the big door that opens, the whole thing opens, and that's so I can get in and clean. And so it's not really clean right now. I haven't had a chance to clean yet, but every couple of days I'll come down and I scoop all of the poop into the floor. And another one of those lazy methods that I was talking about works to my benefit, because in the winter, there's a thing called deep litter method. And so basically you scoop all the poop to the floor, you cover it with their pine shavings or whatever the bedding material is that you use inside, and it will compost itself. So the nitrogen in the poop and the carbon in the bedding composts itself. So I just scoop everything to the floor, put a fresh layer of bedding over the top of it, and let it kind of compost. And what's great about it for the winter is that this produces a small amount of heat. So because there's no electricity down here, there's no heat, this kind of keeps this room warmer by generating that tiny bit of heat, and it doesn't smell. Now another thing that I did when I first put the bedding in was I put some lime, garden lime, down in there, and that's amazing for absorbing odors and moisture. So it really, I mean, it doesn't smell fantastic, but it doesn't smell like the rhinoceros pit at the zoo either. So to me, that was pretty good. So anyhow, this is inside. You can see the nesting boxes, and we have the roosting bars. Let's see if I can turn you around this way. And then there's the front window. We have a big light in there. Everything's solar powered because, like I said, there's no electricity down here. And then there's a temperature gauge so I can keep an eye on the temperature. And then because we're city folk and I have a techie husband, he got me for my birthday a camera. So it's mounted to a solar panel, or it's attached to a solar panel, and it's mounted inside the coop so I can actually watch what's going on. And I like to have it on during the day because nobody's in there. And if there is any movement inside, it's usually somebody laying an egg. So I get to see who's laying the eggs, which I love. I love being able to see, okay, so-and-so laid today, so-and-so, so-and-so. It was wonderful. And then we also have another camera here in the yard, and that's for nighttime. We usually don't watch that one as much unless we hear a bunch of squawking down here. We'll turn it on and see what is going on. But usually they're pretty quiet. Nobody really knows they're here. And I usually keep that one on, this one out here in the yard, on at nighttime just to watch for predators if there was predators come up. But like I said, nobody really knows we're here yet, so I'd like to keep it that way. So anyhow, the other really fun feature that we got, lazy chicken owner, is we got this automatic, where is it? There it is. This automatic door. So it closes every evening at dusk and it opens every morning at dawn. It's battery powered, so the battery's supposed to last a year, but it will open and close on its own. And the chickens put themselves to bed. For those of you that don't know anything about chickens or are curious, when it starts getting dark outside, the chickens all line up on the ramp, and usually they just head straight on in. I have a couple that are a little skittish about being in the dark because it's pitch black inside. And they'll wait till the light comes on. The light comes on at dusk as well. So once the light comes on, they all pile in, jump up onto the roosting bars, and they're good for the night. And then usually within 20 minutes of that happening, the door will close. So we haven't had any issues running into chickens getting stuck or getting locked out or anything like that. So anyhow, it's self-sufficient. The door closes, they're safe. Nothing can get to them. In the morning, the door opens, they all pile out. The little rooster, he will try his cock-a-doodle doing. He's still trying to figure it out himself. It's more like a cock-a-doo. But he's trying to figure it out. God love him. They're all pretty young. I think they started laying this summer. So they're all still trying to figure out the system. And then of course in the winter you don't get as many eggs, but I'm really fortunate because they seem to be happy, and I'm getting 2 to 4 eggs a day. So out of 7 chickens, that's pretty good in my opinion. And one of them's a rooster. So anyhow, that is the chicken yard and the coop. And then we'll go around to the back. I'm gonna lock them in here. We'll go around to the back. Let me do this without grabbing my fingers in front of the camera. And see the back side of the coop. Still a little bit of a construction zone. Still have some stuff to do back here. Like I said, we've got to paint. It just got cold faster than we could do that. And we've got to finish framing. We still have some framing that we need to do. But this is the nesting box. And I've used some WD-40, but this is our little nesting boxes. It's very easy for me to come around here. I don't even have to go in the yard. And I can just gather the eggs, and makes it really easy. It's really super easy. And then this is the watering system that I was talking about that we kind of rigged up. We are going to build a gutter, so we will be doing that. And the gutter will of course feed into the water tank. This was what I was using to irrigate my garden a couple years ago, and I saved it because I loved it so much. So it's already kind of piped, plumbed for that. And then basically I just hooked a 1/4-inch tubing on there, and I run it through to the 5-gallon bucket inside. Now, the watering system inside was basically that tube ran into a 5-gallon bucket, and I had a float valve inside the 5-gallon bucket. And basically the concept of a float valve is similar to the tank of your toilet. So as the float valve, the water level goes down, the float valve drops, it triggers water release. So it will pull water from the watering tank, and then as the float valve comes back up, it almost like seals off, so no more water can come in. So they always have plenty of water in the 5-gallon bucket, plus the reserve of whatever's in the tank, and it just automatically keeps watering them. So, and to keep that clean, I did some research. Basically, we have a stock tank that irrigates our garden. And so I did this research back when I was doing that. How do you keep algae from growing and all that other kind of fun stuff? We do have netting on top of the pool tank back there to keep leaves and bugs, mosquitoes, and that kind of stuff out. But to keep algae from growing, if you get barley hay, and they sell it on Amazon, you can even get it on Amazon, and you just put a wad. I used some like netting that I just wrapped the barley hay in and put it down in there. Once it gets soaking wet and starts kind of breaking down, it actually releases a chemical in the water that kills algae. Now, it's perfectly safe for cattle, livestock, chickens, probably even humans to drink because it's natural, but it keeps algae at bay. So that way the stock tank doesn't have a bunch of algae that I'm then pumping to my chickens. So it's fresh, clean water that stays clean. And then again, they've got their automatic feeder and they've got their automatic door. So it makes city chicken keeping doable for those of us who might be a little on the lazy side. So basically all I do with my chickens in the mornings, I'll come down, I'll throw some scratch out for them, and that gives them something to do in the mornings. They love it, they go crazy for it. And then I go on about my day. And then in the evenings, I will come down around between 4:30 and 5. I'll come down and throw something else out for them. Usually, if it's not scratch, if it's a really cold night, I'll bring some more scratch down and give them some like extra corn, because the digestion, the corn is longer to digest, and that increases their body temperature. So if it's gonna be a really cold night, you want their body temperature to stay warm, and so by doing that, that helps with their body temperature. If it's not, I'll just go over to my garden and I'll grab some kale leaves or some broccoli leaves that's growing over there, toss them out there, and they go nuts for it. Or I do have a big bag of mealworms, and so I do mealworms, and so I just give them an extra snack at night, and then I collect the eggs and say goodnight, and that's it. And on some nights I'm just super curious. I love coming down here and watching them line up on the ramp to go back in. It's so funny watching them all, like, they just realize, boom, it's time, and they just start plowing in. They're so funny. Oh my gosh. In the spring, I'm going to plant a big flower bed here with herbs. And, oh, sorry, my hand's in the way. Plant a big flower bed with herbs. And I'll have those here as well for the chickens and for us. And then I'm going to put some chairs down here. I would love to put chairs and have my morning coffee and just watch the girls because they're so entertaining. It's really been so fun. I have absolutely loved it. So anyhow, that's my coop. I wanted to show you. I hope you have enjoyed it. I think we did. My husband did an amazing job building it with my help on the design, and it's working really great for us. We absolutely love it. It's working great. It's, for the most part, really great to keep clean, and the girls seem to be loving it. For 7 chickens, it's been plenty of room. And then my mom brought me this trampoline frame, so I'm gonna rig it up to have extra space for them to roam the yard and have some more freedom too. So I think that'll make them even happier. Anyhow, I hope you guys have enjoyed. We'll talk to you later. Bye.